I never thought I would be here today. My invitation to speak at TEDx clashed with some of my previous conceptions of what I can and can't do. I was born profoundly deaf, and learning to speak was not easy. Think about it for a second. When you can't hear, how do you learn to speak? I could have chosen to use sign language today instead, and that would have been a perfectly viable choice. But for me, the answer was 18 years of speech therapy. I'd always known my speech isn't perfect, but week after week, I'd go back to try to make it better. And I'm starting this way because, as a deaf person, there are many things I've been told I can't do, either by other people or by that internal voice we all have. Society has a tendency to focus on disability rather than ability. And certainly, my abilities are different than many other people's abilities. But over time, I've come to perceive myself as far more able than disabled. A large part of this is not taking my challenges as outright limitations. Another part of it is simply believing that I can. When I was 18 months old, I walked out of a speech therapy session, and my speech therapist pulled my mother aside. "I want to tell you something," she said. "Never put limitations on this child. She can do anything she wants to." And my mother never forgot that. So I grew up never thinking of myself as disabled, largely because my parents did not treat me that way. Neither did interpreters, speech therapists, many of my teachers' friends. Let me give you one example. I have always loved horses. And so I grew up like many other little girls who wanted nothing more than riding lessons. I begged, I pleaded. I'm sure my parents thought, "Oh, she'll get over it. It's just a phase." Finally, when I was 8, they let me start. And I remember walking into the barn that very first day, thinking of nothing but the horses. That small, I wanted to walk by the stars and touch all of their noses as their heads stuck out. But then I met the riding instructor, and she found out I was deaf. She took one look at me and she said, "You'll never learn how to ride by yourself. It's too dangerous." Now, this was news to me at that time. But you know what my family did? We moved on. We found another riding instructor. And you know what else? I guess that first instructor was wrong. Now, horses are one of the most important things in my life. They give me a purely physical language and a way of communicating without words. But over time, I've learned one very important thing. I have a choice. I might not be able to choose what is easy for me or what is difficult, but I can choose how to use the abilities that I do have. But let's try this. Let's resist the temptation to classify other people based on their disabilities or their challenges. Let's focus on their abilities instead. And let's focus on helping them realize those abilities, even when it means doing something different.